Oh, Kathy, look at this soup. What's all in this soup?
Well, first I chopped some onions and carrots and celery.
Ooh, baby.
And then
Oh, what, baby?
I
Tell me.
peeled potatoes.
Ooh, baby, that's hot.
Hey, this is the family show. Where's my tray?
Hey!
Hey!
So what are your 5 basket ingredients this week?
Okay, let's see. Yellow potatoes, green onions, carrots, celery, and beef kielbasa. Holska kielbasa. Well, welcome back to our Irish month. Okay, we are winding down to the end of this month soon, and spring is just around the corner. Hallelujah for that. Okay, looks like with this ingredients, we are going to be making some potato soup. Now, this potato soup actually was in a cookbook that I did. It was submitted where I used to work into a cookbook for charity for children's causes, cancer patients of children. They requested that I put the soup into their book since I used to make it for the job all the time. I submitted it in the book. Unfortunately, my book is still packed because I haven't cleaned up everything from unpacking yet since we moved here. But eventually I will get it out and show it to you. But the recipe was entered into a contest by a steward, a flight attendant, her son. Wanted to go to culinary school, so he took my potato soup recipe and entered it into a contest and ended up winning a $10,000 scholarship for this recipe. He got the book as a present from his mother, who was a flight attendant, and fortunately he became quite successful with my potato soup. So pay close attention to this one because you're going to like this soup. Alrighty, we're going to have to get some onions and start chopping up some onions. Okay, we are going to cut up our onion for our potato soup. First thing you want to do is cut up 2 onions. We're going to dice these. We're going to put in 3 to 4 carrots and 3 to 4 pieces of celery stalk. On your celery, you see these little green things here. Most people throw these away. Don't throw these away. These little green things here. This has all your flavor in your celery. I'm going to use this in 2 portions. I'm going to use it in the beginning of my soup, and then I'm going to use it in the end of my soup. You can actually chop that up like you would chop up parsley and sprinkle that on the top of your soup as well. It has good flavor. It has more flavor in this little green than this whole stalk. So if you want flavor, don't throw it away. Chop it up and use it. Alrighty. Onion going in here. Okay. Let's chop this baby up and then cut it all the way through there. And that's okay. As long as you cut your onions pretty uniform, you won't have a problem. Okay. And there's one. Okay. My cameraman's not going to be happy today because this recipe has no garlic. No garlic? Oh no!
I think we're out of film.
You can put garlic in it if you like, but this particular recipe, and it's probably one of my only recipes, other than maybe French onion soup, that I do not use garlic. And I don't care to change this recipe to put it in there. So that's how we roll with that one. Alright.
Come on, Strike, find another editor.
Uh-oh. I told you my cameraman would not be happy on that. Alrighty, so I have a nice big pot here. we're gonna put some heat to. Catch that. You do not need the lid. Oh, by the way, we got a new apron this for this new season for spring, and we also got some new towels. One on the refrigerator, we have one on our stove here. Nice job on those. Alrighty. So, we are going to take about 2 tablespoons of butter, and we are going to melt that down. And we are only using a drizzle, just a drizzle of the olive oil, and that's to keep this butter from burning. Okay, that is starting to melt down, and we are going to toss in our onions. Let's just take this whole thing over there. It'll be a little bit easier. Alrighty. Okay. Alright. And we got one more onion that we want to chop up. Alrighty. Cut off the bottom. I don't normally cut off the bottom till I'm done with the onion, but I got a little carried away with this one, so looks like my eyes just may tear a little bit on this one. Alrighty. Don't like those real thick ends on the bottom here. I always toss those. Alright. Okay, we have this onion is done. Make sure it's all. There's another fat on that I don't like. Alright, pretty uniform here. I know that onion went flying, and there's no 5-second rule on that one, right, cameraman? Alrighty, so let's take our second onion, and we'll toss that in here. Alrighty. Ah, look at that. Just starting to brown some of those other onions, so we're going to turn this down to a little low here, because we don't really want them brown. Looks like a part of a... Well, we'll get that later. Like a little part of a skin there. Alrighty. So we've got that down to a low. And we are going to do our carrot now. So, like I say, 4 carrots. Washed them, dried them. And we're going to chop these up, and we're going to add that next. Okay. I'm going to get some nice decent sized carrots on this as well, because you want to have a little bit of carrot in your potato soup, because the basis is going to be your potato. But you want to have a little bit of vegetable going on in there. So we know how much our cameraman likes his vegetables. But he actually likes these because he likes the potato soup. These are so minimal.
It's also not green.
It's also not green, except for the celery. Okay. Some people don't peel their carrots. They have a lot of vitamins in the skin, but I do peel mine. Okay. Cut off the ends here. And both ends we're going to cut off. Okay. And we don't want these real thick. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these thicker carrots. We're going to slice these in half. Okay, right down the middle. Here's my little slice. So then you're just going to take that and follow it. Try and keep it even. Sometimes it's hard to do like that. And there you got it. You got your nice slice pretty much down there. I missed that end. And that is okay because that's a smaller end. So what you're going to do then is you're just going to cut it like half moons there. Just keep feeding your carrot to your knife. You'll be all set. And the end there is so small, it's almost like a half moon in size. Alrighty. I'm going to toss these into our pot. The onions are just translucent right now, which is right where we want them. And we're going to cut this other onion or carrot in half. There we go. That one went better. Yeah, we don't want real big carrots in this soup. Like I said, the potato is the star in this soup. So that's what you want. And this is a chunky potato soup. This is not one of those cream soups where you say, where's the potato? You will find the potato in this soup. You will find nice big chunks of potato in this soup. Okay. And that's why we call it creamy chunky potato soup. Add that one in there. A little stir. And we have 2 more to go. Alrighty. Okay. There we go. I got both of them doing this one here, so we can move it a little bit faster. And we have some green onion, but we're not putting that one in yet. We're going to use that at the end of our soup. Okay, toss in the rest of that carrot. Okay, give that a toss, and it is cooking nicely in that little bit of butter that we used. Yeah, we got flying carrots. Okay, now we have our celery. And the same thing with the celery. I don't use the bottom parts, these white, so we're going to cut those and toss those out. And the celery, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut a strip right down the middle. Move that out of the way. Okay. Nice strip right down the center there. This way you're not getting super big chunks of celery. Okay. When you cut, claw your hands so you don't claw your fingers. And again, you can just push your vegetables right through to your knife. Alrighty. And we're going to take some of this nice greenery that we have here. I'm going to save this for the end. And we are going to chop this up as well. Because we want flavor. So we are going to use this. This will all cook down. Alrighty, so we'll take our celery over here. Toss that in. Alrighty. Some salt. Some pepper. And I have one other thing that I actually use in here, or two other things actually. Alrighty, let's see. Actually, one of my son's favorite seasonings in the world. Seasoning salt and smoked paprika. Alrighty. Oh, one other thing. We had just a little bit of red pepper because we wanted to have a little flavor there. And we're going to go maybe about a half a teaspoon of celery salt. And about a teaspoon of smoked paprika. Alrighty. Stir that around. We have one other thing we have to add, which is a bay leaf. Okay, I add 2 bay leaves to that. Broke. Alrighty, and we will pull that out a little bit later. Okay, so we're just going to let this continue to simmer down. And I'm going to start peeling my potatoes. Okay, we have peeled our potatoes and we've cut them in half, okay? We want them pretty well uniform. If the potatoes are real small, you don't even have to cut them. You don't want to dice these potatoes up. You want them to be chunky. So we're going to throw them in with our vegetables. Just going to toss them all in there, okay? You want to coat these with your vegetables. We're going to turn the heat up a little bit for a few minutes here so we can get all that flavor coated on these potatoes. This is a real important step in making this soup. You don't want to boil these potatoes and then add them. You put them in just as I did. Toss them around with your vegetables, turn the heat up to like a medium, and just let them marry in that little flavor for a little bit. We're not going to have it too long, but just enough to get those potatoes coated and get the flavor in there going. Okay. Leave it like that for just a few minutes. And over here I have 2 tablespoons of butter. And we're going to use 2 tablespoons of flour. When we're making a roux here, so when you make a roux, you want equal parts. Flour to your butter. And we're going to set this aside because we're going to use this a little bit later as well. So you're just going to mix this up because later we're going to add some milk to this, some heavy cream. I like to mix mine because I like the rich flavor. You can use milk, whichever you prefer, but I'll tell you, milk and cream is your best because it gives the best flavor. You want to be doing skim milk or 2%, it's not going to come out as flavorful. Okay, here is our roux. And we're just going to turn this off. And you want this to cook for a minute or two because you want that raw flour taste out of your roux. You don't want it to taste floury. So just keep mixing it. It's got a nice consistency here. We're going to shut this off. It's still on the heat here though. And we're going to let this sit until we're ready for our milk. I'll put our milk in another pot because I also like heating the milk up and then adding it to the roux rather than putting straight cold milk to this. I don't do. Hot to hot, cold to cold. Okay, our potatoes are sizzling away here. They're nice and coated now. Looking good. You see we're still bubbling a little bit there. I'm just going to mix that a little bit. Now we're going to let that sit. I'm going to add a little more pepper here. Since we added those potatoes, we need more flavor going on in here. And some more salt for all those potatoes. Carrots have a tendency to draw salt out of your dish. So we added a little more in there. Alrighty. That looks like it's doing good here. We're going to let this go a few more minutes, so it's going to be a total of about 15 minutes or so that we're just going to cook that in its own juices right there with the carrots and the celery. In the meantime, I'm going to cut up my green onions that we're going to be using a little bit later for this dish. And my sausage. Now the sausage I don't put in the potato soup. The sausage, I will actually put this in a fry pan and just brown it up very lightly. And I save this for a topping for the soup because some people like sausage with their potato soup, some people like bacon, ham. I like it just as it is, but occasionally, and especially because I have a meat lover in the house, they like some sausage. And you don't put this in the soup and cook it. You're going to cook this in a fry pan on the side. Just a little bit of oil or butter, whichever you prefer. And just lightly brown it. And then just before you serve your soup, you can toss in a few pieces of sausage along with a few pieces of your green onion. Oh, I see them. I see them. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I guess that makes up for the lost garlic, huh?
Maybe two will.
Well, you keep that up, you won't have any for your dinner. I don't know. Can we afford to? I think
the battery's in the red.
Alright, I guess you could have two.
Thank you.
That's a nice thick one too. Alrighty. So we're not going to put these on now. I'm just getting these cut up and ready. I'm not going to cook them yet because I don't want them sitting while I'm waiting for that soup. And I hear the soup is sizzling away there. I don't know if you all can hear it, but I sure can hear it. Well, I should say the potatoes because technically it's not a soup yet. Okay, so we have our sausage here. And let me take another toss at this. Oh, this looks good. How's that smelling, cameraman? Mm-hmm. Wow. It's good and coated here. But you want to make sure that you do get it all coated. And you see there's no water. nothing in this soup. Okay, we'll cut up our little green onions here. So we have a nice pile of those. Get my meat off of here. Alrighty. Okay. Just one second. Alrighty. Just a little bit cleaner from the meat on there. Doesn't really matter. It's all going in the same spot. But we did a little rinse on that. So I'm going to chop up a bunch of green onions here. And these will be used at the end of the soup as well, along with this nice sausage that we're just going to lightly fry up in a pan here. Try and get all these heads a little bit even. Chop off the heads there. Okay, I think we got them all. Oh, you want the little heads?
You know I love onion chives.
There you go.
Thank you, thank you.
And we will cut off the bottoms here. And I know who wants these bottoms here. So we're just going to leave those on the corner there so he can just take those as he wishes.
Onion chives and garlic, baby.
Alright, so we're going to cut these up. And like I said, we're going to use this just as a garnish when the soup is done. We're going to toss some of these right into the soup in the pot. And then we're going to put some on the table so we can put them individually in our bowls as we like it. Alrighty. Okay. Alrighty. So this we're going to put up here. Cut through there. Alrighty. Go. So that should be plenty, I think. I don't know, as much as my son likes onions here, I'm better add a few more, huh? Because I don't think he'll be happy unless he has a whole lot of these.
Onion and garlic.
Cut the tops of those off again. Cut the bottoms a bit. He likes that.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
Tastes even better.
Oh, I'm sure they do. Alrighty, so we got a nice pile here for a little bit later here. Alright. We'll put a few more here. And we'll leave those for the cameraman. Alrighty. And I guess we got a couple that we can save just in case which I know we will have leftovers on the potatoes, potato soup. I use all of my potatoes, 5 pounds. Okay, this looks real good. Toss these one more time. And then I have some chicken stock. We're not using water. Okay, we have pure chicken stock here. I always have chicken stock available in my freezer. Any kind of stock you want. When I run out, I always have boxes in my pantry. Alrighty. Okay, we're going to bring this up to a boil now. We're not going to keep it there though. And you see that the stack is just covering those potatoes. Just covering them. You don't want to put too much liquid to it, because then they're going to come out mushy and it's not going to be good. You want to have you got equal amounts of stock and potatoes here. So when this comes up to a boil, then we're going to turn it down to a simmer. We're going to put a cover on it, and we're going to let it just simmer here for about an hour till the potatoes are just fork tender. And then we're going to finish these off with our roux, and then we're going to add some cheese to it. And then we'll start cooking our sausage at that point. It's just starting to come up to a boil here. When it's starting to come up, take your wooden spoon, scrape the bottom of your pan. Get all of that goodness that's on the bottom of that pan and just scrape it up. Mix it into your broth here. Okay. So you're going to use 5, maybe 6 cups of chicken stock in here. You can use water. It's not as tasty with water as it is with chicken stock. You can use low fat or no fat chicken stock, or you can mix it half chicken stock, half water. I use pure chicken stock because I want flavor. It's not something I make all the time, so I don't mind about cheating. Besides that, it's the only thing I'm going to be eating for dinner, so it's going to be just fine. It's just a bowl of soup. Nice, rich, creamy, chunky potato, not chicken, chunky potato soup. Alrighty, so this is coming up to a boil, starting to bubble on the side. So when that does, we'll turn it down to a simmer, put our lid on it, and we'll be back then to finish it off. Alrighty, I'm just cutting up a little bit of parsley here for the garnish for our soup when it's done. Just getting this ready, so I'll have everything ready, because I will toss some of this in once I have it all creamed up, and then the rest I will be saving just for garnish along with the rest of our leaf celery here. I'm going to just kind of mix this up together. Get that good flavor. Oh, excuse me. Alrighty, now here's some more. All I want is the leaf. I don't want anything else on this. Okay. Alright, that's good. Don't need any of this. Alrighty. Gotta give it some nice color too. Actually looks like a nice fall color actually. With that nice yellow in there. Put that on the plate, and we'll have that all set for our garnish. Alright, I took the lid off of our soup because our soup is ready. We did our little fork tender test here, and it's just fork tender. I added my milk to my roux, which I have sitting here on low, which is ready to go into. You see how nice and thick? It's like a loose pudding is what that is. Okay, so we want that to go right into our soup. And it's about a cup of milk. Nothing serious. And this is going to thicken up and make it nice and creamy. So I'm going to let this cook down a little bit more, and I have one other little thing that I'm going to add to this in a little bit, and that is 2 cups of mild cheddar cheese. Okay, I have my sausage sitting here, which will go into this pan with some oil, and I have my green onions here, and now I have my parsley, over here. Alrighty. So we're all set. We're going to let this cook down a little bit more so it's on low heat here while it thickens up. We're going to leave the lid off so it'll thicken. And you see how nice these potatoes are. So you want nice chunks of potatoes. These bigger ones will cook down a little bit more as it thickens up. So we're going to let this thicken up, and when it starts to thicken a little bit, we're going to add our cheese to that. And we'll be back in a little bit. So our soup is thickened up a bit here, and we started adding in our cheese to the soup and mixing that up. This cooked down, I don't know, maybe 15-20 minutes to get thickened, and it's on a low heat here. Because there's milk in here, you don't want to bring this back to a boil at any point again. And to reheat it, this will thicken up overnight in the refrigerator. So if you really wanted to reheat this, then you could add a little bit of milk to it or a little bit of water to it. But do not bring it to a boil. Heat it up under a simmer because of the milk that's in here. You don't want to scald that milk. So we got our 2 cups of cheese here. And we're going to let this thicken up some more, and we will, maybe we will just start doing our sausage as well. Let's just get this in a pan. I'm going to use a little bit of butter. That's about 1.5 tablespoons of butter. Alrighty. Warm that up. You just want enough, that should be enough to coat what's in there. Oh, these potatoes are looking mighty good. Look at this, nice chunks, and this is what I mean. When you want a potato soup, you want nice chunks of potato soup. You don't want it all creamed into your sauce and you have no potato left. Alrighty. Okay, so we're going to toss this in. It's bubbling up. We're going to toss in our sausage, and we're going to put that on low. We just want to heat this up. And we'll be back when this is finished. Alrighty.
Hey, Kathy, whoa, does this smell good?
Hi, sweet love.
Oh, potato soup.
Oh, yeah, look at how nice and creamy that is.
Oh, man, you got to be real careful with potatoes too, Kathy.
Yeah?
Yeah, you don't want to poke them in the eye. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to watch out for potatoes.
Oh,
does
look at that
good?
creamy,
Look
huh?
how creamy. Yeah, that's not good. Wow, that is something. This is a #1 recipe, isn't it, Kathy?
Yes, this is, baby. This is definitely a #1 recipe.
Somebody got a scholarship on this one, didn't
Yeah, they did. $10,000 scholarship.
they? Wow, look at that. This is unbelievable. I'm saying this is some soup, man. I'm talking there. I'm going to enjoy this one. I'm going to enjoy this one. Wow, what a meal! I can't believe you can do all this with a spud, baby.
With a spud, baby.
Yeah, I'm talking spud.
There's some Irish butter for you to go on these biscuits.
Yeah, remember last week we had the Irish butter with the, it's a little yellower and a little richer.
A little creamier and richer, yeah.
Yeah, oh, this looks
Nice to have for the holiday.
Oh, this looks so good. And
Oh,
now the
yeah.
sausage, what's, how?
Oh, yeah. We're going to have some of that sausage, baby. We're going to put a little bit of that sausage on top.
You put that right into the soup.
Yeah.
I'll have
You
it
could
on
use your
second.
spoon. Maybe drop a few in there for Michael.
Ah,
It
here
looks
you go.
like he's digging in
All right,
already.
you said a couple. You said a couple. There you go, boy.
Don't start a fight on a family show.
Yeah, we'll give you a couple. A couple more. We'll give him a couple more.
There you go.
Thank you.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so how long did our soup, this is how thick this soup is. So creamy.
Yeah, it's nice and creamy.
Nice and
Nice
creamy.
and yellow. Those nice yellow potatoes you brought me.
So, do you put this in the oven?
No.
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 You don't do the potatoes or anything in the oven?
No.
No. What do you stew the potatoes or?
You stew them?
I don't know, baby. I don't know.
$10,000 meal right here.
Oh, this is a
Yeah, this is the $10,000 meal.
Yeah, wasn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Now, how did that
Flighted-
work out?
A flight attendant bought the cookbook.
Uh-huh.
See, we did the cookbook for charity. BBA Aviation did
And
this
how many
cookbook.
recipes do you have in that cookbook? They got
About
like
a dozen.
A dozen,
About a
yeah.
dozen.
And is it all meals?
Guess what's in there? My shepherd's pie from last week
Oh, that shepherd's pie.
is in there. That was the one they were waiting for too.
That you know, that shepherd pie almost felt like going out and buying a herd. You know, just so I could be part of the shepherd.
Wow, that was just good, baby.
I gotta taste it.
No, but we did it for charity for children of cancer patients, little children.
Oh, okay.
So it was a charity book that we did, and we were selling them. Huntsville actually was doing it. So I was selling them for them, and I sold a book to a flight attendant. And she gave it to her son for Christmas because he wanted to go to culinary school.
Uh-huh.
So he took one of the recipes out of the book, which happened to be my potato soup, and he entered a contest. And he won a $10,000 scholarship.
Wow,
And
that's
this soup.
unbelievable. Wow. Well, I tell you what, this soup is like a $1 million soup. I tell you, this soup is just so delicious. You know, watch this, watch this. It's just so thick.
Yeah.
So thick, so creamy.
Nice and golden yellow.
Oh, yeah, this
And
is
you know,
so...
I cook it in stock, chicken stock.
Oh, I thought you meant stockings.
I don't cook the, yeah, I don't cook the potatoes in water.
You gotta cook soup in stockings, otherwise it doesn't turn out like this. I didn't know. Oh, so soup,
In the chicken stock, not water.
chicken stock for potato soup.
Yeah.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
And I cut the potatoes only in half. So they're
So
nice
good.
and chunky. Chunky.
This
Chunky.
is nice and chunky, yeah. And what else you got? Carrots and you got, and then
Celery.
and then you top it off with the,
The sausage, the green onion, the parsley,
Parsley.
and parsley and the celery leaves. I chop
Oh.
together. See how they're different colors?
oh, yeah.
Because
yeah.
they're celery leaves.
Oh, wow.
You know, the part that everybody likes to throw away.
Yeah.
That has the most flavor. I
Uh-huh.
use it. I mix it with the parsley.
How do you get it so thick, though? Do you let it simmer like for 9.5 hours?
No, no. It only simmers for actually about an hour. Then I make a roux.
A roux.
I make
A
a roux,
roux.
and I add the milk and cream to it. And then I add some cheese to it, and then I let it simmer some more.
Oh, wow. I tell you, this is a meal. We're really... You know,
This is good.
I went down the Irish aisle, like I said I was going to last week, and I think I did a pretty good job. What do you think?
Oh, I think you did very
Well,
good.
you know what?
Stay down that aisle next time.
Yeah, well, next week we got one more week of Irish week, right?
Yeah, one
right.
more week.
So I'm going to go down the Irish aisle again. I'm going to ask the butcher again where the Irish aisle is. And I'm going to get 5 more ingredients,
They
Mike.
must put that special aisle in there for you, huh?
Just for me, an
Just for
Irish
you.
aisle, right. I walked down there, I asked the butcher, same butcher, he's been there a long time. Anyway, I asked him where the Irish aisle is. But I'm going to go there next week. I'm going to buy 5 more ingredients because I'm starting to get a little bit better at shopping.
Yeah, a little bit
Not
better.
good at picking out bowls for lunch, but I'm getting better. I'm getting,
Bowl.
I'm getting, oh, he's done already. He's done already. I'm talking, I'm
even
eating.
finished.
That's it. Next week, 5 more
We're
ingredients.
eating.
We're eating.
See us on Facebook, The Bobcat Cooking Show.